Hi everyone, I'm Carolyn, and I'm here again to share another channeled message from the LightKeepers, a group of angelic beings I channel on a regular basis. So if you're new to my videos, check out my welcome video on my own YouTube channel, because some of you are watching this on Higher Self. Others of you might already know about this, but I have a welcome video that tells you about my journey and how I started channeling the LightKeepers. So it's under my name, Carolyn Zaiser. And today I'm going to share another one of the shorter channels that I've received. But again, you know, they're just all powerful. And I'll make a few comments and then you can take it away from there. So here is the channel. Have you seen the joy of your face? For it is here for everyone's grace. You do not know this, though. You treat yourself with disdain more often than love. This is not the way that was intended for you. For you are of love, of the highest nature, of the highest good. No looking down upon one's face, only up in glory. See the light shine that comes from you, your beauty and grace. One must only look within to see. For it is this love that will open up the light within your heart, the love of self, knowing who you are and came to be. Seeing your face, looking deeply, realizing the depth of the beauty that has brought you here. So that's the channel from the LightKeepers, and I guess I didn't give it a topic or a heading, but we don't need to on this one. But it's interesting because this got me really thinking about before the spiritual awakening journey and the struggle that we can have with, honestly, after you go through awakening or as you're going through it, you're realizing what society does to you to pound you down into little pieces of dust, or they try, okay? And I'm not saying, oh, go blame everybody else for how you feel. That's not what I'm talking about. But there is a lot in society. We can talk all day about a lot of different pieces of this, and you can think about it for yourself, how it minimizes who you really are and makes you feel very, very small. And I'm going to tell you that includes everyone, because we all have that, even if it's a tiny piece in us, or it can be your whole self, which can be very unfortunate. And I'm just going to use a couple examples and then make a few more comments. Women's magazines, okay? So from the age of, I don't know, maybe 12 to probably, I don't know, somewhere in my mid-20s, maybe? I don't know, at least for a good 10 years and probably longer. I subscribed to 4 different women's magazines or girls' magazines. You know those magazines. Anyway, of course, it's all about fashion, which that's fine. All about fashion. It's all how you take it, right? But I let all of that embed into me, all the part of the you need to look like a fashion model kind of thing. And honestly, I kind of had to overcome that, even though there's a part of me that all of that was ingrained in, and still to this day, I think it affected me. It affects me to some degree. Now, granted, during the awakening, that kind of all goes out the door, and things like putting your hair back in a clip like this rather than curling it all day long and, doing all those fancy things with it is just feeling okay. But that is a really small example of the disdain that we can create for ourselves coming into this human life and just getting pounded down with every little thing that we let the outside world do to us. But that is so disrespectful to the beauty that is within us. And of course, we're not taught to look inside, for the most part, most of us, for the beauty. Because if we're part of that, like, universal spark, that energy spark, that divine spark, source spark, whatever you want to call it, we are. And so why would we ever treat ourselves that way? Well, as you go through awakening, you start realizing this. This has been a real journey for me, particularly when it comes to what I call the mystical arts, or the work that I do. I do energy healing work, distance energy healing work. And no one would ever have suspected this, nor me for the most part, that I would be doing this. And yet it's been a journey for me to realize that I am powerful, and I have all this wonderful energy and beings around me that I can pull in to assist me to actually help people heal and to provide them beautiful messages. And yes, I can. And yes, I do. And when you start thinking like that and you start believing it and knowing who you really are, guess what? More power comes your way because you're lifting off all that crud that you have piled on yourself, whether you know it or not, that's made you feel small or smaller than you should. And so it's a really powerful opportunity during awakening to start delving into things you never thought you could do and go do them. Whether it's the things I'm speaking of, where you're starting to use your intuitive gifts or your psychic gifts, which I have in spades. And, you know, honestly, they're kind of off the charts now with respect to the channeling and the healing. So I'm really excited about where I'm headed. But the point is it's because of how I started to believe about myself and who I am and why I'm here. And that I'm not what the external world has tried to make me, whether it's conscious or not, believe I am. So I want to put that power out there for you as well and have you experience it. Some of you are already experiencing it and have for some time. Others of you probably can't even imagine feeling that, but it will happen. I promise you. Know who you are. Forget what others say. Start looking at yourself with love and beauty and kindness in the mirror in the morning, and not with that disdain that they talk about here, because we're here to share our light and show who we truly, truly are, which is the spark of all that goodness. So thank you so much for joining me today. And remember, I have the free video on flow. If you have not already joined me, check it out below, and you will see that there's a link that you can access to check out that video. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.